Welcome, everybody, to Divine Timing Podcast. I am joined here with Paola.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
And my name is Graham. We are going to be having a fun one today. Our title is Curiosity, Truth, and Divine Flow. But we're going to be asking each other some questions specifically from a fun deck of cards called Where Should We Begin? I don't know if you can see that there. Where should we begin? And this deck of cards is by Esther Perel. It's a game of stories. So basically, you ask people, your partner, questions. Put that over there? Yeah, let's put that over there. And that's what we did. We picked some questions for each other. We're going to be asking each other these questions, diving into this conversation, sharing our answers with you, so you get a chance to know us a bit better too. But also maybe as an invitation for yourself in your own relationships, where you can explore some of these deeper conversations, topics, in your intimate relationships, in your close, loving relationships in your family, and get a chance to know each other at a deeper level. So we're going to be exploring that with you and seeing where the conversation leads.
Yep. I'm excited. I'm nervous because I don't know what Graham's going to be asking me, and Graham doesn't know.
I don't know what she's going to be asking me either.
How do you feel about that?
I was nervous, but then I'm like, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
We'll have a good time. We have many in-depth conversations with each other, and we explore these types of things. And we've been chatting every day since
we ever met.
And there was only one day that we didn't have a conversation. I was out camping.
You have to tell that story.
You want me to tell the story? Okay.
Yeah, you have to tell that story.
I'll tell the story. So I was out camping, and I told Paula, I said, I was filming a podcast with Yvonne, and there was no cell reception out there. And so I'm just sitting out there. We're sitting around the fire. It was great. And then I just had this thought. I was like, I'm going to check my phone. And I checked my phone, and it said satellite available or something like this. And the new iPhones have a satellite feature where you can connect to a satellite to send a message if there's no cell towers nearby. So I was like, okay, I'm going to give that a shot. And so I pointed the phone at the satellite. I was like, oh, it works. I was like, you know what? I'm going to send Paola a message and just let her know that I'm okay and say hello. And so I just did that, and it worked. I was like, oh, cool. And then on your end,
little did Graham know that on my end, I was missing him because I haven't spoken to him. We've been speaking every single day, and for I think it was 3 days.
Yeah.
It was
3 days I was going to be gone, but it was only one day that we hadn't spoken, right?
Yeah. It was just one day that we hadn't spoken. And I was sitting down on the couch, and I was just like, God, can you just let me know that he's okay and everything is all good with him? And immediately, this is how quick God worked. I get a message from Graham.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, God, you really do listen.
And I had told her that there was no cell reception. So there's, I was going to be out of contact with her for a few days. So she wasn't like, how would, in your mind, how's that going to work? Right. But I sent her a message, and then she sent me a message back. And then I went with my buddies there, and I'm going, oh, it works. I got a message back. So we had a good time about that. Good laugh and good story with that. But okay, so this is what we're going to be doing. I got my 3 little questions here. She doesn't know what they are. These are the cards that come in this deck. Where Should We Begin by Esther Perel. So,
where should we begin?
Ladies first.
Okay. Are we ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay. Guys, are you ready? Okay, let's have a look and see what I'm going to ask him first. Okay, let's start off light. So, am I going to go and then you go?
Yeah.
Is that how it's going to be?
Yeah.
I think that would be good.
Or do you want me to ask you a question first?
No. I'll ask you. Okay. I wish people would introduce me by talking about rather than I'll give it to you so you can have a look at it.
Oh, thank you. That's a good idea. I wish people would introduce me by talking about blank rather than ... I guess it would just be like, I wish people would introduce me by talking about how much I love to have fun and think outside the box and do creative things, and this is Graham. He loves to come up with creative ideas and new ways to have fun, and he's really energetic in that way. And some people do introduce me that way. I've had people introduce me that way, rather than, oh, this is that guy from that television show, actor guy, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's not really, fun for me.
Yeah, I can imagine, right? Because that's not actually who you are.
Well, it's cool. It's like, okay, that's how someone might know me, because they might have seen me on a television show. um, unfortunately for some portion of people in the world, that becomes like a box that I can't break out of. They just kind of always put me in that, and it's kind of like, okay, well, it's too bad. But
I guess because this series, has gone for so long that I think you mentioned it before. You said something along the lines of people were never meant to watch something for so long because they end up putting this program in their mind, believing that that's fact.
Well, if you think about human history, television and screens are relatively new in the course of all of human history, from my knowledge, and the psychological effects of staring at somebody's face very close. Like I'm staring at your face, and this is like a close-up shot because I'm this close to you. But
sorry about that.
I love it. But in a television show, you're getting that close to somebody you don't know, so it tricks your brain into feeling like you know them.
Yeah.
And then when you see their emotions and you see them going through things, you develop what would be normally a relationship with that person, because you would never look at somebody that close if they were a perfect stranger, because they'd be like, hey, you're too close. So television has that effect on the human mind and the psyche, where you can create an artificial relationship where it's a pseudo relationship. And I've had that happen to me too when I met Adam Brody. I don't know if you guys know who that actor is, but he was on a big show back in the day called The O.C., and I worked on a movie with him, and they're like, okay, we're going to introduce you to Adam, so come with us. And I was like, okay, so we're walking, and I see Adam walking towards me, and he's in the distance there, and I go, oh, that's that guy from the show. And I had this like moment of like psychological disruption where I was like, he was now becoming real. And I hadn't even watched the show that much, maybe a few times, but I knew who he was. And so as soon as he came up and he reached out his hand, he says, "Hi, I'm Adam." And I shook his hand. I'm like, well, of course you're Adam. I know who you are. But then I was like, well,
and he doesn't know who you are.
But he doesn't know who I am. So I was like, well, what else would he say? Yeah. So it made me realize, I was like, oh, this is the effect that it can have on people, because it happened on me too. That you think you know somebody and it feels like you know somebody, and then when you shake their hand, you're like, but I don't know you. Anyways, Adam's a great guy. He invited me over to his house after we did the movie premiere down in Los Angeles there, and played guitar and hung out and just sat around in the couch in the living room and had a great time. And I was like, oh, right, of course. And I know a lot of people know that out there. Everyone's just a real person. But it's a weird psychological effect when television and you watch someone's face that close for so long. So
it's interesting because it's different with movies than it is with like series, because movies, but series, you really invest your time and energy in watching something, and you build like a relationship with that person. And not only that, like when someone connects with you, they even associate you with the character so much so that they think that that's who you are, when in reality it's not.
Yep.
Interesting.
All right. Paola, this is your first question.
Okay.
When I was young, I would spend hours daydreaming about...
When I was young, I would spend hours daydreaming about being a singer. I used to love to sing. So you
still love to sing?
I still love to sing, but when I was younger, it was just... I used to watch these beautiful, amazing singers sing on stage, and it lit me up. And so I just daydream about the days where that's going to happen for me, and I'm going to be singing, and I get to go all over the world and meet people. That was my daydream when I was a little girl.
What was the feeling that you thought you would have being on stage singing in front of people? What would that feel like for you?
That feeling would feel like just like this euphoric on top of the world feeling. Not many people know this about me, but when I was a little girl, I used to get bullied a lot. And I used to get bullied a lot because I was quite different. I felt like I was an old soul. I used to see things differently, feel things differently. I was a very, very, I'd say in tune little girl. And not many kids my age group would understand me. So singing was always like a little bit of an outlet for me to be able to connect with my emotions, my feelings, and my imagination. And there was almost like a little bit of, I'd say when you're a little girl, it's like, these people are bullying me. One day I'm going to show them. I'm going to show them. I'm going to be a famous singer one day. And it kind of gave me a little bit of hope. It was like, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to get through this.
So is your feeling of one day I'll feel not burdened by these people, and I'll, like you said, be on top of the world. And,
yeah, absolutely. And it was an interesting time. I'm just kind of going back in time and really just tuning into that little version of me, and I can feel her, and wow, what she would say now, like how the trajectory of her life has shifted completely.
What would you say to her?
I would say to little Paola that you're exactly who you need to be. And there is a beautiful gift inside your heart and your soul that will one day help many people. So keep on being who you are, because that is what God has created you for, to be you.
Amen. And just before we started this live, we were singing. Well, she was singing. I was going, yeah, that's awesome. We like to play around like that. And even with our friend Tyrone Morales from Canada there, Tyrone likes to make music beats too. And we had that one time where he was making beats, you were singing, and I was like, yeah, sing that again. And we were doing like this live music creation. It was so much fun.
Yeah, that was
so much fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Gotta do it again one day.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
Okay, next question for you, G.
Ready.
Okay, if my younger self could see me today, they'd say...
Oh, wow. If my younger self could see me today, they would probably say, like, how did that happen? Like, it would be so many questions, because I could not have foreseen me being here in this situation of my life. So I think they would just say, like, well, first of all, I think they'd be happy and proud and excited, and they'd want to learn, like, how did you do it? How did you get there? How did that all work out? Because when I was younger, I was very concerned with how things were going to work out and the trajectory of my life. And like, it felt very difficult and dark and very different. So I think he would be like, show me, like, tell me, how'd you do it? How'd you get through it? So, but he'd be proud and he'd be excited and eager to learn how to surrender. I think that was the most important thing that I didn't understand as a young boy, was how to trust in a divine plan or God's plan, how to surrender, how to tune in and listen and trust, and to process my emotions, to process my pain, the things that I was going through. I was bullied as well. And so how to just navigate that would have been really helpful. So I think he would probably ask about how to do that, and so that he could learn it at an earlier age.
So they'd just ask you, how did you do this?
How'd you do this? Like I need to know.
And what would you say?
Yeah, well, I would talk about surrender.
Okay.
I would talk about listening to God or the divine, tuning in, being present. And it would also largely focus on honoring yourself, trusting in yourself. When you're younger and everyone's bullying you and everyone's trying to pretend to be something they're not, like, just to kind of let this younger version of me know, like, a lot of it's BS. A lot of people are just scared and insecure themselves, and they're just taking it out on
Projecting.
you. Yeah. So just let's go hang out. Let's go do something fun. Build your self-confidence up, and forget about these people. Forget about this stuff, because it'll be over soon, and it's just So
yes, it'll be over soon.
Yeah.
It's not like this forever.
It's not like this forever. Okay. I'm going to leave that one for last.
Oh.
Okay, so your next question is, my relationship to money changed when ...
Interesting. My relationship to money changed when... Okay. So there was an interesting period of my life. I think it would have been like maybe 2 years before I had... No. Maybe... I think shifting careers... And then I was like, wow, you can make money from doing things that you love. Like, you don't have to actually hustle. You can actually make money in other ways. Like, this doesn't feel like work. Is this legal? I transitioned from being a personal assistant to then, kinesiology. I was running meditations on the beach during COVID. I was seeing clients from home, doing one-on-one sessions. And I absolutely loved what I did so much. I absolutely love it so much right now. And I had so much freedom, so much more freedom to be able to enjoy my life. And I was getting paid to do what I love. And I think that's when money really shifted for me, is that, wow, the more you step into alignment with who you are and your gifts and your abilities, you start to receive more because you're in the energy of receivership rather than hustle and lack energy.
Yeah.
And that's when it changed for me.
Can you just talk about hustle? Because we were talking about this the other day. I think this is really interesting. We both worked with a woman named...
Annie?
No, Teal.
Oh, Teal. Yes, sorry.
Teal.
We've worked with two lovely ladies.
Yeah. And Teal said something that I thought was so fascinating. She said from her grandmother taught her that you can't hustle what is sacred. And I thought that was so beautiful of a statement. There's a culture of like grinding and hustling in life to get by. And I want to know what you experienced hustling and what that meant to you, and then how you shifted into more sacred work.
Yeah. For me, I feel like it happened very organically. I did put a lot of emphasis in, manifesting and surrendering and all of that sort of stuff, but I didn't really understand the psychological sense of money. I guess that kind of came later. But in terms of hustling, I see my parents hustling. They hustled to have what they have today. And in their concept of money, it's different to how I see it now. Their belief system was, you need to work hard for money. Money is hard to get. You need to work hard for it. And that's a belief system that a lot of people are in, because it's something that has been so instilled in our psyche that people have a challenge to kind of get out of sometimes. So I was hustling for money as a personal assistant, but I just realized that it wasn't worth my health. And then I think it was from that moment I just surrendered. And I think that's what it is. It's like the moment you release the attachment and you are open and you shift the mindset and belief system around money, things start changing. We have to also see money as a relationship.
Yeah.
Money is an energy. Money is a tool. And if you're like attached to money in the fear of it leaving, like for example, imagine Graham is money, for example, and I'm like, please don't leave me, like stay with me, don't go. Like that's needy. He's gonna feel like kind of like, ooh, like go away, like let me be,
space.
Give me some space. And that's kind of like how money really works, is like the more you're attached to it, the more you are fearful and scared of losing it, the more it actually does leave. Because where you place your energy, it does the exact thing. So the energetics of it doesn't, it's not that it's focusing on what you want, it's focusing more on what you are putting out there. So you may not want it to go, but because you're focusing on it going, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Money just kind of trickles away from you.
Yeah, so by focusing on, I want to hold on to this, I don't want it to go, which is really the fear. It's like, I don't want this to go. Then that's where your energy's going, so that's where it goes.
Yes.
Whereas I appreciate this is a beautiful blessing in my life. I want to use this to support and help others, to nourish myself so that I can continue supporting others. Then that flow keeps coming in that way. Similar to a relationship, if you're giving from a place of, I want to care for this person, I love this person, I want to celebrate with this person. Sorry, I got an eyelash, it's like sticking in my eye right now. I keep rubbing my eye.
You want to see?
No, I think I got it. Did I get it?
Yeah, you did.
I think
it's just...
Then as you focus on that, that expands. If you're focusing on how you want to support and step more, like you were saying, step more into purpose work, step into the work of the sacred, what you felt in your heart you were called to do, then you were supported through that, and things happened for you when you did that.
Yeah. So you can't hustle what is sacred.
Yeah.
And that work is sacred to me, and you can't hustle, because the work that I do is very feminine. It's not masculine. So the more I hustle, the less success I have. And It's an energy.
I also want to emphasize that it's not about being lazy or thinking that everything will just come to you on a silver platter. You still work hard. You still give it your all, but it's not, it doesn't take away from your soul. It doesn't leave you feeling depleted in that sense.
Yeah.
You feel enriched by your work and such. Whereas when you're hustling, when you're done hustling, you feel depleted. You feel burned out. You feel like, right? So,
Yeah, exactly.
Great
Thanks.
answer.
Great question. Okay, last one for you. Drum roll, please. The calling I've been ignoring.
Oh, you're.
Ha.
The calling I've been ignoring. You guys can answer this for yourselves too, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
These are great questions. The calling I have been ignoring. So that means I'm aware of something that's calling my attention and I'm ignoring it, which would mean I'm either uncomfortable with it, I'm scared of it. It's deeply uncomfortable. Or I'm unfamiliar with it. So I'm uncertain about it. I mean, we've talked about this before, so I wouldn't say I'm ignoring it. I am, if I'm aware of something that's calling my attention, I know that by consciously ignoring it, it makes it worse. So I don't do that. But I do understand the spirit of this question, which is kind of like my podcast. The time has come for what? Like, what has the time come for in your life? What are you being called to do, to step into that is ready to emerge? And I would say that I'm exploring, and like I have been, I've shared this, I think last year, that I would like to explore working with men, and I hesitate to say men's retreats because I haven't even been to one myself. I'll have to go to one first. But when I was a kid, I was in Boy Scouts, and I really enjoyed being out in nature, in the woods, around the fire, with my dad and other leaders of the Boy Scouts and other friends, and we would play games, we would talk, we could tell stories, and there's something so nourishing about that. And I think in our culture, we're slowly changing that. I've heard men's retreats before. I've heard about, guys coming together and supporting each other. And with my friends back in Calgary, Alberta there, sometimes we just go and have a sauna and jump in the ice cold river, and we'd have deep conversations. And there's this fun story for you. I think I might have told you this already.
Me?
Yeah. Yvonne, we were in the sauna, and we were having like a little, it was kind of like just a hangout session, but we were talking about our lives. A bunch of guys in the sauna, all friends. And we were in this really hot sauna, and we were sharing intentions, and we were talking about our lives and what was going on, what we were struggling with, what we were proud of, and what was going on. And I shared my intention that I wanted to be in a relationship, and I wanted to, one day be a father. And Yvonne said, my friend Yvonne, who's on the podcast as well, when we got out of the sauna, because it was really hot, we got out of the sauna, we went down to the river, and we jumped in the ice cold water, and we came out, and he said to me, he says, Graham, I know this will happen for you. I know you'll find somebody, and I know one day you'll become a father, and it's the best thing ever. And he was just very supportive of that and of me. And I thought, wow, that's beautiful, man. Thank you. And I think conversations like that, where you express from your heart, you share, and you put yourself out there. Personally, the work that I would want to do in that sense is I wouldn't want it recorded. I wouldn't want it broadcasted. I wouldn't want cameras and all that stuff. I want people to feel like they can share, and that it's not going to show up on social media tomorrow, for the highlight reel for the retreat or for the Instagram account. I don't enjoy that. I think it's more important for people, especially men, to just be able to freely express themselves, what's going on, and have other men there to support them and hear them and what they're going through, or what they want to create and what's coming up for them. I think that's really important. So I wouldn't say I'm ignoring this calling. I am open to it and moving closer to it, to explore how that would look and how I feel I'm being called to do that.
That's beautiful, babe. I remember when we did a session together, and I mentioned that is something that is going to happen in the future. because it's like a full circle, coming full circle. The work that you've done on yourself, there's a lot of men that also are craving that as well. They're craving to be heard, to be seen, to be guided, and to remember who they are, and to create that spaciousness. And I think that, the breath work that you've been doing, and also the Tricona meetings that you do with your friends, and also the opportunities to go outdoors and explore, I think all of the amazing things you have already done. It's like bringing it now into the one.
And I want to let it organically happen. I think sometimes similar to when you're baking a cake or you're baking something in the oven, you're cooking something, and you take it out before it's ready. It's not fully cooked. It's still kind of raw in the middle. I feel like there's still some cooking time that needs to happen for this, because I want it to be ready and formed, but also continually practice. Like Paola mentioned, I have a group of friends that I meet with often, where we discuss our goals and we discuss what's going on in our lives. A group of guys, and it's really helpful, and it's great.
Accountability.
Yeah, keep accountability, and also just to kind of talk about what we're going through, what's going on, and how to support each other. So, yeah, thank you for the question.
Pleasure.
All right, Paola, your last question is
Okay.
this is a fun one.
Okay.
I am tempted to break my own rules when it comes to.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I'm tempted to break my own rules when it comes to.
It doesn't say you do break your own rules, but you're tempted to.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go really personal here. Can I go personal?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go really personal. I've never really experienced what I've experienced as of recent, and that is, being with Graham and having such a fan base that comes behind you.
Oh yeah.
And I've had so many interesting comments that I've never experienced before. And these comments, not necessarily nice ones. And they've really hurt my heart, because A, that's not who I am. And B,
It's not who you are, what they're saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
And B, they haven't even gotten the chance to know who I actually am before they project their judgments onto me.
Yeah.
And it's confronting. And, I'm all about seeing things from a higher perspective, and, not taking it to the heart, and just, everybody's on a different level of their awareness. But, to the extent of what I've received, I've never received so much hurtful comments before. And it really blew me away. So I think I'm tempted to break my own rules when it comes to defending myself. I feel like usually I would just ignore it and just not give it energy. But there are times where it's like, no, I need to defend me. I need to defend who I am. I need to defend my work and what I do. I need to defend this relationship. I need to defend the sacredness that I'm here to offer, because, sometimes I'll get comments on my actual business page, calling me a witch, calling me a demon, just horrible things. And it's just not nice. And sometimes it's like, I've worked so hard to build this business, Equilibrium Intuitive. I've worked so hard to build trust and rapport with people. And then having someone who doesn't even know me say all of these hurtful things.
Yeah. It's kind of like going outside your business and throwing tomatoes on the window and trying to spray paint and everything, just trying to ruin your business and what you're trying to offer people, and they don't even know. They've never been inside, and they've never worked with you. So what is your rule around this? Your rule would be before not to defend yourself? Or what's the rule you're tempted to break?
So it wasn't... I would usually kind of say just, these people are coming from a place of pain, hurt people, and it is not your job to prove yourself to someone who doesn't know who you are. But I am tempted to break my rules of ignoring it when someone is throwing tomatoes at my business.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a we've talked a lot about this, and we've also joked about it. I don't know if you guys have seen Monty Python, which I think it was The Search for the Holy Grail, where they find a witch and they say, "We found a witch," and then she had never seen this film before, so I showed her the clip, and we had a good laugh about it. But and if you haven't seen it, it's really funny because these guys in the Middle Ages, they find this woman and they put a giant carrot on her nose and they strap it around her head and they make it look like she's got this big long carrot nose. And then the woman goes, "This is not my nose, it's a fake one. They put this on me." And then the guy's like, "Okay, well, we did the nose, but she's a witch." Anyways, I share that just because sometimes you have to laugh about these things, but also sometimes you have to realize, because of how ridiculous the claims are, you have to defend yourself. And I think that's an important distinction because you don't want to get bogged down in the negativity and the the naysayers, because there are 99% of the people out there just want to hear the goods and the beautiful gifts that you have to share. And so when you're taking that time to defend yourself, you're not taking the time to give your gifts. So,
yes, exactly. Right.
So it's like, it's this fine balance of like, yes, you need to stand up for yourself and say, "Excuse me, that's, unacceptable. We're going to block you, remove you, whatever. Or, that's untrue. So I'm not going to let you, what's the word? Not plagiarize, but like slander me. I'm not going to let you slander me in public here. Like, that's untrue." The thing with online comments and stuff is people can feel, they would never say that to your face. They would never come out and be like, say all these things that they've said to you. But it's because they're behind their computer on their keyboard. They just feel like, whatever's going on their life, they're miserable. They feel scared. They feel insignificant. They're going to come and try and attack somebody. I mean, I think that's effectively where bullying comes from, right? That's what I experienced when I was a kid. I was loving life, enjoying things, loving people, just feeling good, just being who I am. And people were like, "I don't like that because your light kind of makes me feel like I'm, it makes me hurt, maybe because they felt, their light has been repressed, or they have repressed their own light. And watching someone else be free and share their gifts or have fun, makes them feel like, man, I want that, but I don't feel like I can. So I'm going to try and tear you down so you can feel where I'm at." Which is what I think a lot of bullying is just people that are really hurt, like you said earlier, hurt people, because they're trying to process their pain, and they're doing it unconsciously. So they write mean comments, they do these things because they don't have the tools. They don't have the peace in their heart, and they're searching for it. So they see someone who has peace, or they're enjoying themselves. They're like, maybe they can help me, like I think this is unconscious. I don't think they're actually thinking this. I think it's like an unconscious cry for help, and they have to become conscious. I've tried to help those people that write mean things and are bullying, and they don't want it. They have no interest in it. And it's like, all right, well, blocked, removed. And I think that's a good message, is that you can try to help people, support them, reflect back to them. But if they don't want any part of it, if they're just there to tear things down, you have to create a boundary, which is you've been doing, which I think is fantastic. You have to create a boundary. And this exists outside of online connections as well, in real life. If there's people that are, no matter what you do or say, they're always trying to pick you apart. They're always trying to find something that, it's just like, what, this is not, this isn't going to work. I'm sorry. I would love, for you to be peaceful. I would love to have an actual honest conversation with you and get to know you, and you to actually honestly want to get to know me and where I'm coming from. But you don't want that. You're not interested in that. Your belief system, your worldview is in such a way that any difference of perspective is detrimental to your own reality. So you have to attack everyone that seems just slightly different or a little off, or, because it makes you feel unstable. And you don't know how to process that within yourself. You don't know how to be with the uncertainty or the unknown or the expansion of, maybe I don't fully understand everything about these topics or, situations. And so what we do instead is we attack those people that are asking those questions or having differences of perspective, instead of trying to understand them. So it's a big topic, and it's a big issue. It's not just, personal, but it's on the world stage that, this is where wars come from. We have different operating systems, different ways of looking at things, and we can no longer communicate and negotiate, and then it becomes violent because that's the only thing that's left.
It's interesting that this is coming full circle for me because, like I mentioned prior, I was bullied as a young girl, and now going through it again as an adult, it's really interesting to observe. And I almost feel like it's happening for a reason. It's happening because there's another shift that I need to go through in order to be the woman that I need to be in this lifetime. And that is to be like a strong mama bear and protect what is sacred. And the lesson here is you need to speak your truth, regardless what others may say, because Jesus himself was crucified for speaking truth. And if he was the bearer of light and truth and was not afraid to speak it regardless of what was going to happen, then I can channel that same strength and continue on this journey and follow what is sacred, follow what is helpful to others. And those that don't understand, you got to just forgive them. You got to forgive them, but you also have to set that boundary.
Yeah. It can be difficult, but it's necessary. And it's also necessary that each individual do that in their own way and honor what's coming up with inside them. Because that's the only way we shift our lives, and then ultimately our communities in the world, is if we continually stand up and speak the truth. And we're not afraid. And doesn't mean it has to be perfect. Like everyone says, your voice might shake, but you need to speak the truth. You need to stand up and set a boundary or say, this is what is sacred to me, and I will defend it. And I will, champion it, even if it's unpopular.
And ultimately, they're the people that change the world, right? It's
Amen.
The people that actually have the courage enough to stand up for what is right.
Yeah, and maybe they didn't go to school, maybe they didn't get some fancy diploma or have a lot of money, but they spoke the truth. There was a guy, that country artist, Rich Men in Richmond. Oh, man. In the chat, if you guys know what I'm talking about, that guy that wrote that song, it became really popular, and he was talking about the Rich Men in Richmond. If you guys know what that is, please drop it in the chat. Country artist guy, he had one big song came out. He was recorded him on his own camera, his phone in the middle of the woods. And he just sang the song, and it perfectly hit about all the conflicts and stuff that are going on in our time. And I was like, yeah, he spoke the truth. He said exactly what he was feeling, and he turned down all these record deals and was like, no, I'm not interested in that. I just want to play my music and sing my songs and speak the truth. And he's had he was on Joe Rogan's podcast, profound impact on the world. And he didn't need anyone's permission. Oliver Anthony, thank you, Kathy. Oliver Anthony is a prime example of that. He just took out a cell phone, and everybody pretty much now has a cell phone, and he spoke the truth. And he recorded a song, and he sang it from his heart. And boom, massive impact. He didn't do it for that. He didn't do it to have this massive impact and go on Joe Rogan and whatnot. He was just like, this is in my heart. I need to share it, and I'm unafraid of what people might think. I'm just going to put it out there. It doesn't have to be fancy, too. I'm just going to put my phone on a tripod and in the woods, play his song. So it's those people that are truly inspiring to me, and I know to you as well, Paola, that you're like, that's what it's about. And like he did, that's, how you change the world.
Yeah. That was interesting, this podcast.
Yeah.
I really liked the way we didn't know what we were going to be asking each other, but kind of the openness that it gave us.
Yeah.
And I feel like vulnerability is one of the things that really help people to trust you and connect with you even more so. And although some of these answers were really, I'd say, interesting to unpack because we're listening to these questions for the first time and then having to unpack it with you guys as well. It's like, this is raw, this is openness, this is the truth on the table.
And I hope you guys enjoyed getting to know us a bit better too as well. And maybe some of these questions in your life you can, with your partner or just with yourself, you can answer. Again,
Yes.
the
Whoop.
deck.
Sorry.
The deck is called Where Should We Begin?
Yeah, by Esther
Perel.
Perel, and she's a therapist. So she is a relationship therapist. I just happened to see her on Instagram talking about relationships, and I was like, oh, this would be really, really good. I love going deep. I love being able to break open a lot of the shells so we can get to know each other. So this is why I bought it, and I've loved it. And yeah, it's a really great way to connect with your partner.
Yeah.
It can be your partner, and it can also be like a friend.
I will say, though, that there are some questions more about intimacy, so
Yes.
you might want to avoid those ones if it's with a friend.
Yeah, so they've got there's colours. So
Yeah.
there's blue, yellow, and pink. So if it's with a friend, go with the blue colour. If it's with a friend, you can do yellow as well. But the pink, probably steer clear from that if it's not your partner.
Where Should We Begin is the name of the card deck by
Yes.
Esther
Esther Perel.
Perel. I think I spelled that right. Can I take a second there? On the front. It's on the front there.
Esther.
TH.
Perel, Perel.
There we go. Put it in the chat there, guys.
Yeah.
Where Should We Begin by Esther Perel. So that's our episode. If you guys have any questions or thoughts or things you want to share with us, we can see your comments here on divinetimingpodcast.com so we can look at them. Otherwise, we can wrap this up and thank you guys for being here and joining us in this exploration. It was a little different than we normally do.
Yeah.
But it was fun. Like you said, it was
fun.
authentic and it was raw. And I hope you guys got a chance to kind of get to know us a bit better too.
Yeah. I really appreciate you guys being here, supporting us, and all of these amazing comments. Like I'm reading them, and my heart is very, very full hearing all of your beautiful comments to Graham and I. And we appreciate you supporting us and being here. And we're excited to see where Divine Timing takes us in the coming year.
Yeah, we do have, I guess I'm going to spoil it. We have an interview coming up, so we're going to actually be doing guest interviews as well. So
we've got a guest interview coming up very shortly. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be exciting. So we hope to bring more guests onto Divine Timing that we can interview, and you can also benefit from listening to their insights and wisdom and use them for your own journey in life.
Journey, growth, yeah. Thanks, everybody. We're seeing your wonderful comments here. Janie says she's crying, but she says she loves us both.
Aww.
Janie, I'm not sure. Hopefully those are tears of joy or tears of release. Maybe there's something going on that this has brought some insight for you, and you're feeling better about that.
Thank you, Jenny.
Barbara says, "What an interesting podcast. I admire your willingness to be open and courageous and willing to answer the questions sight unseen."
Thank you, Barbara.
Awesome. Awesome, guys. Yeah, so we're going to have Paula and I are going to do a podcast. We'd like to do that more, so interview other people as well as a couple. So I think that'll be fun as a new dynamic for our podcast here, but also continually sharing, our own ideas and conversations. We have a whole list that we've written out of topics that we want to cover eventually. So we go through that and we go, hey, which should we talk about? And that's what we did a couple of days ago there. And then I think we were just kind of tuning in, and I was reading out some of the topics, and you're like, no, I don't know, it doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
And we were just kind of feeling it out, and then you were like, let's write some questions. How did that come about?
I was just like, you know what? Let's make it fun. Let's get some questions. You won't know what I'm going to be asking you, and I won't know what you're asking me, and let's just see where the podcast goes.
Yeah.
Let's just have fun with it, and that's what we did.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed it.
I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Thanks so much for joining us. All the best, guys. And if you're just coming in now and you're like, what happened? I missed it. The replay will be up on divinetimingpodcast.com very shortly. So thank you, everyone, for being here. And
we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Cheers, guys.